Hey guys! So, yeah. Yeah, I had a crash. I crashed. I didn't actually record it, so I can't show you guys, so I can only just tell you about it instead. Basically, what happened was I had a collision with a cyclist. He, for some reason, decided it would be a good idea to just ride straight into me. At first I thought it was my fault because I swear he looked behind, directly at me. And usually when cyclists look behind, it means they're going to do some kind of manoeuvre, right? But he didn't do any hand signals. His position in the road stayed exactly the same. So my brain just suddenly thought, okay, maybe he wants to turn right, but he's going to wait for me to pass first because I'm too close to him for him to pass right now. So because he didn't move, his position in the road didn't change, and he didn't indicate or anything, didn't signal, I thought that I thought, oh, I'll pass him then. So as I passed him, I gave him room, obviously, as you do. And then out of nowhere, just as I'm passing him, he starts getting closer and closer, and I'm like, oh my god. So I was looking at him and he was still getting closer, and I'm like, what are you doing? Do you not even know that I'm right here, right now? Can you not hear my bike right next to you? I mean, I'm sure you saw it earlier when you looked at me, which is, I swear he looked at me, but I'm not sure if he really did. Because I was with another rider at the time, and they didn't see him look at me, so I don't know if he did, but yeah, he just got so close to me until literally he rode into me, his handlebars clipped mine, and then that was it. That was it. Just we both went down. He flew off onto the left side somewhere. He just, I don't know, he was just gone. And then me, I managed, apparently I kept the bike up for a long time, but it just got to the point where it ended up full lock on one side, full lock on the other side, and it's at that point the bike's just going to go down. You're de-accelerating, you're going slower, there's no more momentum to keep you upright, and you're all over the place. And then apparently my foot then came off, and when my foot came off of my peg, that's just when everything just I think I just lost balance at that point, and down I went. Crashed straight into the road on the left hand side. It was weird because it was the same sort of crash that happened last time, except last time wasn't with anyone. It was actually my own fault. This time was my first time having an actual collision with someone else. I mean, thank God it wasn't a car, and thank God there weren't any cars too close to me when I crashed, so I didn't go into any cars, I didn't damage any cars. I just damaged some of the ground and my bike and myself. The way that I landed, I was in such a horrible position. I landed on my front, the bike was on me, it was pretty much the same as my last crash. At that point, the cyclist was just oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I'm just I was kind of ignoring him. At first I was oh, I think that's my fault, I'm really sorry. And I was apologising. And then some car driver literally came out of nowhere, and he was asking me if I was okay. And I was I think that was my fault, and started apologising. And I was oh my god. And then my mind just went, okay, so I've crashed. Once I realised that I'd crashed and I was on the floor, I was lying on my front. My leg was obviously behind me anyway, it's always behind you, but it was bent in some really weird way. And from experience from other times where I've dropped my bike, one time I tried to park on grass and it had rained the night before, so the grass was wet and soggy, and then I slid on the mud and just fell off pretty much. But the way that the bike landed, it was on my foot, and I was about to yank it out from under the bike, but then I realised that it was in such a weird position that if I had done that, I would have probably damaged it. So from that experience, I thought to myself, don't yank my foot out from under the bike. Is it in a position where I can get it out of the bike so I can move? Because I was in such a horrible, awkward, uncomfortable position. I needed to move because my back was all it just was horrible. I realised I could move my foot, so I decided to move it out. So this guy was just like, don't move. I completely ignored him pretty much. The rider who I was riding with, they were like so calm throughout the whole thing and literally sort of dealt with everything really well. They actually got the bike off of me so that I could move properly, which I didn't actually realise at the time until afterwards. But yeah, like, so many car drivers just came literally out of nowhere. It's so weird. But anyway, they were all asking how I was. They were like fussing over me. And then I thought, well, I had to ask myself the question, can I move? Is it okay to move? Because you know when you crash on a motorcycle, sometimes you shouldn't move. Because if you have a serious crash, you shouldn't really move because you could have like damaged something in your back or something, and when you move you could damage it more. But I thought, you know, I don't think I've done anything serious. It wasn't too serious of a crash. I mean, it bloody hurt. Really hurt. But I thought, okay, I think I can move. I think I'm okay to move. So I decided to move. I sat up. And then the person I was riding with was there. And they were asking me how I was. And I said that I was fine. And they made sure I was fine. And they took my bike out of the road. Got me out of the road so I could like just sit down for a bit, because at that point I then was starting to shake a little bit. I thought I was cold, but I think it was actually just the adrenaline, because you know when you crash like that you get some adrenaline. So I was a bit shaky and I still didn't really get what was going on, only because I forgot like everything, like what to do. I was trying to just comprehend everything, but I didn't realise about checking the bike until I just saw them checking the bike, and I was just like, oh crap, the bike, what damage is done to the bike? Then they were looking over it and I was just like, oh my god, please don't be that much damage to my bike. And thankfully all I did, well, there's a lot more cosmetic damage now, but that doesn't bother me too much because my bike was already scratched up from when I crashed like a year ago. I got pretty bad scratches from that, and now my fairings are actually cracked, so that's not good. But I didn't get too sad about that because obviously my fairings are scratched up anyway from when I crashed last time, so if they're cracked it doesn't really bother me too much, because it's like, if they were new fairings, yes, then I would probably get upset, or well, not upset, but I'd be annoyed because they're brand new and then they get destroyed. Although they probably wouldn't have cracked if they were new, because obviously mine are a bit, you know, obviously already damaged. My left gear lever and shifter were bent terribly. The gear shifter was bent really badly. Luckily we managed to fix it. It works, and that's all I wanted, just the bike to be rideable, because I needed it the next day. And if your bike is your only mode of transport and then you don't have it, it's really annoying. You have like no way to get around anymore. Luckily the bike was able to be fixed so that it was rideable, which is why I'm riding it right now. Although I do need to get a new shifter at some point just to replace the one I've got. My indicator actually was bent to hell, because both of my front indicators used to stick out like 90 degrees, but from my previous crash they got bent back a bit and I couldn't bend them back. But actually I think they look better slightly bent, because it kind of goes with the bike a bit more, you know, like shape wise. And then my left indicator was just completely bent all the way to the fairing, but luckily that was able to be fixed. I have a new scratch here now on my left mirror, which is kind of annoying. I've got a new slight little scrape on the front of my bike, and a little bit on the side, but it's nothing too major. And like I said, the cosmetic damage doesn't bother me too much because it was already cosmetically damaged before anyway, and I just more wanted the bike to be rideable, to be honest. It's rideable, so that's good. It's going to get properly, you know, fixed at some point. It was really annoying though, because I literally we just fitted like new sprocket and chain to the bike. Luckily they didn't get damaged, because that would have really made me angry. But yeah, luckily I was fine. I haven't really hurt myself too badly. I mean, I got bruised to hell. I've got road rash on my hip again, almost in the same place, but not entirely in the same place. So that's good, and it wasn't as deep as last time, which means it's going to heal quicker, and it's almost healed. It's almost like healed anyway. It just needs to, you know, fully heal now. My elbow got bruised really badly. I thought maybe I might have done something to it, but I hadn't, so that was good. My hip really hurt. I thought maybe I'd done something to my back, but it was just because my hip hurt so much. But luckily it's fine, everything's fine, I'm fine. I can bend over a little bit better now. I can, like, you know, walk a little bit better now. So it's all good. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But yeah, I just thought I'd share the story with you guys. And if you're a cyclist, look before you move, and maybe actually do some signals. Don't actually just randomly, like, you know, like move. Because it's so dangerous. But yeah, stay safe on the road, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Where the hell are you going? Pick a lane. Just go in the right lane. You can go all the way around the roundabout and come back and go off on that turning you missed. Oh, for fuck's sake. Or you could just go up there and join the motorway, you know. Further into the middle of the road rather than getting looked at by men in cars. Don't chat me up. Why are you so far? Oh my god. Leave then. Just leave. And I thought maybe he's just being one of those, like, chavvy knob cyclists that decide to ride, like, further into the middle of the road than actually, like... Come on. Are you coming? You want to come across? Oh, fine then. What are you doing? I gave you an opportunity and you missed it. Oh, fucking hell. Maybe I should have just beeped him. Like the person beeped me to move. Oh my god. I gave him an opportunity to join. He did not take the opportunity, which then made me think maybe he'd actually just left his indicator on. So I made the decision to pass. Then I was blocking the road. Someone beeps at me. Probably should have beeped at him to be like, hey guy, you can join. But he didn't want to join, so tough luck for you, buddy.